This is a glimpse into my life. Life with Eric.
Eric's here.
And I'm Kiley.
And I'm Eric.
Okay, I think we know who you are.
Oh.
So, after 13 years together?
I thought it was more than 13. No?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're capable of changing.
Why? What am I doing wrong?
You're changing up your alcohol.
Oh, yeah. That's a silly way to start this podcast.
You inspired me because of the drink of choice you picked today. And the drink of choice you've been picking for like the last week and a half.
I know.
2 weeks.
I'm on a gin kick.
Gin. Like,
yeah.
You've also never drank gin till you met me, I learned.
No, I never have. But I went to that place. It's right here. What's it called?
Tentor.
There we go. A little advertisement. Tentor. And they make their own gin there. And they have these gin drinks. And you bought me some. And they're good. I'm just being lazy. I don't want to mix it or make it. I think
that's just your excuse.
Right. And I like you drinking out of this nice copper
You
cup.
also told me that you like the fuzzy feeling that gin gives you.
I mean, I guess. I don't want to sound like alcoholic, which I'm not. I drink.
No,
like
you had
one
like
of these.
one, and you're like, I
Yeah.
just feel great. It makes me feel fuzzy.
Whoa! I just took one sip. Oh, I do feel great.
Shut
I do
up.
feel great.
So you are
Those are
capable of
tasty.
change.
I'm drinking that before church, by the way.
Well,
We're doing this podcast right now before we go to 5:00 mass.
right.
I don't know if we're gonna make it or not, but
We'll find out.
let's just go for it. We don't have to get up early tomorrow. We're in
Correct.
church season, folks. I don't know
AKA
if
Lent.
you think other people have church season out there? Like they
No.
just go for Lent.
I don't think it's just a Lent thing. I usually think it's either like you go or it's a holiday go. Like,
Oh yeah, or people just go on Easter and Christmas.
right.
Or whatnot. But we have a thing where we, as soon as it hits Ash Wednesday, we go to church all the way till Easter.
Right.
That's our thing. And we started going, and we're going to do it again.
We started going last week, you
This is how
mean?
we get good podcast material in church.
Did we get any from last week?
Probably. I just can't think of anything right off
I
the
was
bat.
kind of like, what
What about that lady in the sweatsuit in front
That's
of
what
us?
I was going to say. Like, what's happening that we find it acceptable to wear sweats to church?
Yeah, nowadays, you shouldn't wear anything to church now.
Apparently.
I mean, can you wear a hat and keep it on? Like, when I was a kid.
Like a baseball hat, like yours right
like
now?
mine, yeah. I
I
wish.
mean, I have yet to actually see that.
I've yet to actually see a hat. I mean, when I was a kid, you couldn't wear a hat in school.
I don't think
Now,
you can.
I think they can now.
They can?
I
You
swear
couldn't when
they
I was
can.
in school either.
And then, so I have curly, weird hair, and so I wouldn't, some people could take their hat off and look normal still if you had a buzz cut or whatever. But, when you had hair like mine, I'm like, no, I can't wear a hat at school. So, yeah.
Huh.
One time, so I coached swimming in my 20s, right?
Right.
For Incline High School. And so.
Were you allowed to wear a hat?
Well, yeah, the swim practice or whatever. So, I was in the
Just checking.
construction business too, so I wore a hat every day. And then what they did was when I got hired, I think I was 22 years old when I first started.
Were you walking down the hall?
No, I'll
Oh.
tell you. And so I go, at that time, the teacher's lounge still was full of smoke.
Oh, they were smoking still?
Yeah, the teacher's
What?
lounge, you used to open the teacher's lounge door and it was full of smoke.
In
So-
the 90s?
Yeah. So the athletic director takes me up to the teacher's lounge, says, since you're a coach now, you'll have a cubby.
Mailbox.
A mailbox. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not a cubby. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you know they had?
Because
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
smart.
a mailbox. So
Yeah,
anything
little
that the
mail-
school needs to get you,
You can check your box.
you check your
Yeah.
box. And so I go in there and I see everybody smoking in there. It's full of smoke. And I see half or 3/4 of the teachers I
They
had.
were all your teachers.
Yeah, because I'm 4 years off.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm the swim coach now, and I'm talking with them a little bit, and they're smoking away. And so I said, "Okay." And then so about a week, I used to check my box like once a week. So a week later, I go back up into the school, check my box. I go in there, and this hand goes on my shoulder, this tight grip.
Whoa.
It says, "Young man,
Oh.
what are you doing in here?
Check them about.
And what is that hat doing on your head?" And so I turn around and I go, "Oh," and at that time it was a new principal, so I didn't really know him. I said, "Oh, I'm the swim coach." He said, "Oh,
Sorry.
I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to remove that hat
Why?
because I guess we're in the school." or
Even
whatever."
like because I
Yeah.
guess the teachers don't wear hats.
Yeah, or whatever. It's just, he goes, "But you're going to have to remove that hat."
Girl, you don't want that.
And so
dude.
I go, "No, I can't." And he looks at me just like I was a kid in the school. He says, "No, take the
have
hat
to.
off now." And I said,
Uh-uh.
"No, I don't want to." I go, "If you saw this hair,
You
wouldn't
want
do
me
it."
to put it back
And this
on.
guy he turned out to be the principal of the school, but he was the JROTC teacher.
Oh, so he's like
at one
probably
time.
ex-military,
It's just
maybe.
totally ex-military, and he's totally and
You're disrespecting
he actually
him.
became a friend of mine, but I hated him. And then I was talking to my brother Matt, was still in high school at the time, and he was like, "Oh, that's Colonel Cornnut, we call him."
Colonel Cornnut.
Because Matt, of course, he didn't want to take PE, so he took JROTC.
Oh, okay.
JROTC. And so Colonel Cornut ended up being a good friend of mine, but
Okay.
it always was the joke of take off your hat. Then he used to see me and go, take off your hat and laugh.
Oh, well, at least it became
Yeah.
a joke, I
But it wasn't a
guess.
joke at first.
No.
I was
Uh-uh.
like, I will quit this swim team.
If I
And
have
I'm
cannot
just
wear
not,
this hat
yeah, I cannot wear this hat. I'm sure I still look like a student basically in
at
there,
22, yeah.
but yeah, like and so he's doing this, and all the teachers that I went to high school are just watching this. And I'm just like, oh my God, so
You're like,
freaking
I
embarrassed.
feel like I'm in high
Like,
school again,
no,
getting reprimanded.
yeah, and I'm not supposed to be in there. And like my worst nightmare was to check my box in the teacher's lounge. First of all, I got secondhand smoke.
Got
I
the black lung.
I wonder when I mean, there's no way they smoke in the teacher's lounge now,
Absolutely not, no.
right? I mean, but it was like you open the door
It
and
had to be,
a
like,
cloud.
a couple years
Yeah.
later that
And
it
the teacher's
stopped.
lounge was just like it was on the same floor as the office, let's say.
Yeah,
They had an upstairs kind of office,
yeah.
and then they had a downstairs big office. So they had like an upstairs half office, and then it was just another looked like a classroom door, and it was a teacher's lounge
Hmm.
on the second floor. And you
The
open it,
smoke seeping out of it.
yeah, with smoke seeping out of it.
Yeah, no, they don't smoke in I
And
don't mean
are you old enough to remember smoking sections on planes?
no.
Yeah, they used to have. So if you flew on a 747, maybe I don't know about a smaller plane, I can't remember, but if you flew on a 747, the back tail end of the
Was
plane
the
where
smoking
put
room?
the curtain up, and the
You could
back end of the
smoke.
plane was they put a curtain up like it's supposed to stop the smoke.
Right, it doesn't.
Yeah, and so one time
Did
we
your
were
mom ever go back there and smoke?
probably, yeah. No, that I mean I don't think she smoked very much back then or
Oh,
whatever,
okay.
but
Just curious.
anyway, so one time,
She likes a party though, so she
yeah,
might have been
oh
like,
yeah,
"I gotta check it
she would
out."
love it. They had a bar back there and everything, yeah. But we had to my best friend was with us going to Hawaii, and so I think I was like 16 maybe or
Did
something
you
like
go
that.
back there?
And no,
Oh.
our tickets got all messed up, and they put us in the smoking section. The whole
Oh,
family with
your mom was in
Thompson.
heaven.
No,
Oh.
it was bad because she was like she passed out towels to put over all our faces because
Oh,
it's
it's bad.
thick smoke.
Oh, it's just
And
people are like chain
and
smoking on
people
this
are
plane.
nervous as shit
So
flying.
there's
So it's like
literally chain
literally
smoking.
just one after the other, like one
Whoa.
after the other, and drinking and smoking. And so we're back there. Me and Thompson have like our shirts over our heads. We're dying. Like you get this smoking like
What about
headache.
like baby Marcus
Yeah.
at the time?
Yeah, Marcus is sucking in all this smoke. I mean, we had like wet towels over our faces and stuff like this for a 6 hour flight.
Right.
It was horrible. We all just reeked of smoke.
Oh.
And the people, they want the smoking section. They don't crap if there's a kid or not. Get them out of the smoking section.
Right. Why'd you book
But
it in the
somehow
smoking You ended up in the
we like
booking-
missed a flight or a flight
Oh,
got
so
delayed.
they
So
put-
they said,
that's
all
what
we
they-
got is the smoking section. And my dad's
I was like, it'll be fine.
We'll get there. We'll be fine. But
Thinking
it was
it's not going to be like a
No, it was not fine.
interesting.
One of the coolest things they did about smoking was, in California, you can't smoke in the bars.
You can't smoke.
Can you smoke in the bars
You
here?
can only
Has to be-
no. You can't smoke in a bar if food is served. And then I think other than that,
Oh, if it's a straight bar, you can't.
I think, and then it becomes like owner's discretion.
Right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
just no
if food is served, like hence why like Sierra Gold has a smoking section.
But that's Nevada. But
yes.
California, no smoking in the bars.
Yeah, I don't
period.
think there's anything in California. Yeah,
Yeah, me, I like
I'm
freedom
trying to
do
think.
whatever.
I don't
but-
think I've been into like a bar where people smoke in a long time. So I think that a lot of
well, the
bars are
smoking
kind
bar,
of like
or we used to be like
no,
Billy's and
no.
Incline.
I know, but I think now, like when I used to hit up bars, I think a lot of people don't really let you smoke in bars anymore. And
Yeah,
know.
you smoke out on you go
Yeah.
out on the patio.
Yeah.
Outside, and that's where you go do that. I can't
Yeah.
think of one either. I'm trying to.
Yeah, so I think they
think.
kind of.
Now the
I
airport.
don't think it's banned per se, but I think that they all kind of are like, no, you can smoke outside.
When I was in LA, I was coming through Vegas to go home.
Right.
And it
Oh, they
was
have like
nighttime.
a smoking room.
Yeah, they have like you see all the slot, and it's full of slot machines
And
in
it's
the
like a
smoking room.
sliding glass door.
Yeah, it's a sliding glass door, and so I walk by, it opens, and
Oh,
it's
a puff
I
of
mean,
smoke comes out.
it is so thick.
Is that where in Vegas, the Vegas airport, are all the like smoke or not smoking, like gambling stuff in there?
Yeah, they have slot
So-
machines in there.
Do they shop slot machines anywhere else?
Yeah, they're outside too.
Oh, I'm trying to remember if
They're
I like.
they're everywhere.
okay.
It's
I just don't pay
it's-
attention,
No,
I guess.
they're freaking everywhere. It's like a
Oh my God,
casino in
that's sad.
Vegas. Yeah,
I'm
but
probably
that's-
just so used to them that I
but
don't look
Reno,
at
they're
them.
there. Yeah, I think I mean, anybody that came to Reno or Vegas would probably be like, "Oh my God, this
Which
is
we're
so-"
just like, eh.
I think I hear people do that. They love to go to the
Oh.
airport there because they love to gamble.
Oh,
Like, oh my
just
God,
walk
I
by.
wanna
I'm
lay
like,
over-
oh, there's a chair there.
I want to
That's
lay
cool.
over in Vegas. Yeah, I always put my bag on the chair and take up a whole slot machine.
Yeah.
Because they have the big, comfy
You
chairs there.
do.
But
Hmm.
smoking sections, I guess, are just going away,
Well, that's because
even
they
in
learned all,
airports, I think.
like, the health things that come from them, from
Yeah.
smoking,
Yeah, and
as
everything
we
else.
learned,
Well,
which
apparently, I've learned this week when I was talking to that one, medical guy or whatever,
yeah.
everything we eat is
Oh my
toxic and
god,
poison.
seriously,
So we
everything in our
just,
lives is.
just kill us now.
Although I did read an article this week that they said people that smoke more smoke than ingest it in any other way are, what was it? Like 46% more likely to have like a heart attack
I
or
thought
a
you said
stroke.
weed, not smoking,
I
weed.
said marijuana, whether it be
You just
smoked
said
and
that?
yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
think I
okay.
did. In my head
I
I
actually
did.
have that on my notes.
Oh,
Weed and heart attacks.
and
But
strokes.
does that include gummies too?
They did do a test, but they think they're not 100% positive if it's the way that it's ingested.
Or it's the gum, or it's
They
the,
can't definitively say is what
what's the
I kinda
drug?
got out of it.
HTC? Is it
THC.
THC? Isn't that a musical
Human
group?
TLC.
Oh, TLC.
You're like human growth hormone on that
Right.
one.
That's what I need.
But yeah, I found that interesting and
Yeah, I'm
like
not
a
a big
yikes
weed smoker, but
spikes.
even in young people, it's in young
Yeah,
people.
they did a
Oh,
study
it's
on
only 10 years.
yeah, they started the study in 2010, and it was people under 50 that they did it on.
And they were finding out they were having heart
There was like
attacks.
a 50% more chance that the people that like did I think it was daily marijuana use had a 50% more chance of having a heart attack or a stroke.
It doesn't clog your artery. I was asking you this. It
No,
doesn't
because
clog your arteries. It
no.
just swells your arteries.
They didn't really say what it did that made you more susceptible to them, which I was like, "Give me some info."
Right.
But
But anyway, apparently
but
weed,
smoking does that too, smoking cigarettes.
but
So,
well, I mean, they say it does, more so, but with the weed, maybe it's more. I don't know.
I don't know either.
All I know is people say, "Well, I'd rather it's healthier to smoke weed. It's more natural. It's this and that." But I know people that smoke a lot of weed, and their brain cells are you start really slowing down.
Right. Well, I think it has a different kind of obviously factor in it than like cigarettes does, because I don't think cigarettes are killing your brain cells, but I think that maybe
No,
marijuana is.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know because I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of got the point now. Cigarettes, I think, are probably better for you than vaping.
They're kind of
I
saying
mean,
that now.
talk about chemicals and
Just because
vaping.
vaping has been around for such a short amount of time and they're noticing all these really young kids with like
Popcorn
kids. I
lung.
mean, I guess they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah, with like lung problems, breathing problems, all this
When
stuff.
did vaping start? Like 10 years ago. Let's go.
Yeah, let's say.
10 or less.
And I get it
It didn't
because
get
I
popular
think
till like 7 years
a lot
ago.
of
I mean, when Sky was like maybe 15, it
it
got
became
popular.
popular
So how old is Sky now? She'll be 23 next week.
because it's been around for a long time actually. Because my uncle actually used to vape like before, like we were like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I quit smoking. I vape now." And we're like, "What the fuck is
But it
vaping?"
wasn't pop. That
No, nobody
you
knew what it was.
knew
It
what
was like an alternative to get you to stop
Stop
smoking.
smoking, yeah.
And so that's what he's like, "Oh
To
yeah,
weed
I
you
don't
off of
I
it.
yes, that's what it was."
Yeah.
And now yeah, it's
I mean,
become
me
a
personally, if someone's vaping, like people do it right in front of me all the time, like acting and stuff or whatever. You can't even smell it or nothing. It's like that's pretty good. It's
I know.
incognito. It doesn't affect any. I mean, you might be hurting yourself, but you're not affecting everybody else.
I don't think so.
No, nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, not as bad as my granddad.
Oh,
He
he's
used
a
to,
cigar smoker.
well, no, that's my
Oh.
papa. My papa was a
Oh,
cigar smoker. My granddad was a
granddad.
cigarette smoker. That's my dad's
Oh.
dad. So we used to say, we used to coerce him and beg him to take us to like Swenson's or the ice cream shop to get ice cream. So after we, beg him, okay, get in the car, kids. And he was a sucker. We used to get him every time. And
Okay, you're a sucker, so you're gonna
yeah.
be that kind of grandpa.
Oh yeah. And so okay, get in the car. So we get in the car and we were just sitting there and
You're
all the
just smoking
windows would be
away?
up and it'd be one of those let's call it an Oldsmobile.
All right, that was a very popular
Grandma.
car back
Yeah,
then.
and they just kind of float. You don't
Yes.
feel the bumps in
Yep.
them. Every grandparent had one of those.
Yep, mine did.
Yeah, I know the big giant
Yep,
back
yep.
seat, bench seat in the back
With
and
your
everything.
box of tissue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A full, not like those little
Oh
packets.
no, it
A
was
full
a
box.
full box of tissue.
My granddad, not the little square 6-incher one, had like the 8 or 10-inch
Oh, you had a
one.
big old guy.
Yeah, the big old one. Yeah, one time we were driving and Davey and I were in the front seat. Sitting.
Yes, 'cause they had a bench seat.
There's a bench seat in the front seat. So we're both sitting in the front seat. So I look over and this guy next to us, we're at a stop sign. And I'm like, Granddad, look at this guy's picking his nose. So I'm sitting in the middle and Davey's sitting on the end. And the guy has his finger halfway to his
Oh.
brain at the stop sign. So I hand Davey the box, like the big giant box of tissue, and Davey sticks it out the window, and he's like,
You need a
"You need
tissue?
a tissue there?" And the guy looks, and his finger's still on his nose, and you
He's
look,
all,
and he's just
"Oh."
terrified.
Well, yeah, what do
And
you
my
expect?
granddad lost his shit. I hadn't seen him laugh that hard in a long. One thing my granddad did,
Was laugh?
anything to do with boogers or farts or something,
Oh,
he loved that kind of stuff.
is
He,
that where you get it?
yeah,
You
I
don't
think
like a booger, though.
no, but he would laugh at all that kind of
You
stuff, and
like a
just
fart,
like he wasn't much of a laugher or whatever. Not my
but
Papa
that did
Jack
it.
kind of laughed at
But
everything, but
that did
the
it.
gross stuff did it. Yeah, and he used to tell he was a professional musician, and he used to travel in buses all over the United States before he had gotten married. Then eventually he had to quit because he had a
Right, a
wife and
family,
everything. Yeah,
yes.
but they would. Those guys were, they just light their farts on
Oh
fire,
my
and
lord.
my granddad had all kinds
Okay,
of stories.
I'm just putting a lot of pieces together here. So
Yeah,
this is where you get your weird crude side.
I have a feeling. Yeah.
Because also I have a feeling too because it would make him laugh, so you would do it to make him laugh.
Oh,
Right.
probably.
So you learned
Yeah.
all these things to try to be like
Yeah.
the funny favorite
Actually, I
grandson.
think we would do a lot of stuff like that to
Right.
make him
Yeah.
laugh. Yeah.
Right. So this
Like
is all
pulling
because it's all
fingers.
coming together.
Yeah, and walk by and fart. And
Yes.
then my granddad was famous for taking a step, right, up the
I
step,
mean, I
right,
think a lot of old people that
right.
happens to either way.
Yeah. I'm sure my mom does it. There's
I
no way she
mean,
doesn't do it. My mom's
right.
like, "Oh, drop my pencil." Oh, excuse me. I farted.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I know, right in my face. My mom, speaking of my mother,
Oh yeah.
um, she had to tell me again at breakfast that
What?
that I love that podcast, The 200. It was great. And I said, "What
Because
did you
she was
love
on
about it?" And
it.
she goes, "Oh, when I was on it."
Oh, of course.
But she's in heaven right now. She is at a gambling tournament.
It's a gambling tournament or a
I mean,
poker?
poker gambling.
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
it's a
it's the
poker machine
oh,
tournament.
that is for
And so they
heaven.
do rounds, like so as speedy as you can go.
Oh
And
my
my mom
god.
is fucking
Yeah,
fast.
she is.
The fastest
Is
thing
it
in
like a
life.
tournament?
Yeah.
There's like a bracket,
You're
I mean?
in and you're out like a bracket. You go in and
It's
out.
like literally the gambling March
Yeah,
Madness.
they like turn off the money.
Right.
You pay $50 entry fee, $20
Yeah.
entry fee, and the grand prize is like 1,000 or 2,000,
Oh.
and then they have free food. I think it's more of a fundraiser, I believe.
Oh, that's fun.
I think it is something like that. But yeah, she loves it. She says it's
Oh, I
fun.
bet.
And you play so many rounds and get eliminated, then you get to the finals.
Right. It's literally like March
And
Madness.
yeah, if you ever want to see my mom move, either have a gas leak in the house or something's on fire, and she will just
Some kind of
tear on out of there.
emergency.
Some
Yeah.
kind of emergency, and she will be as fast as you would ever see. Or put it in front of that poker machine.
Oh.
Like when I sit next to her, sometimes
Oh, I
her
know.
hands are moving. Like it doesn't look like she's even hitting the button.
Well, I don't understand how she like computes what's on the screen so quickly. Because I've played next to her
it's only
before.
five cards.
I know, but I have to like she just
No, she
knows
just
the
know-
numbers
oh,
that well. Because
No,
I'm like
she just knows
the
them.
one time I like paused for too long. She's like, hit that one, like hit it for me. I was
Yeah.
like, oh okay.
She's hitting the numbers in her peripheral vision from years.
Yeah.
She's like, well, sometimes she'll play two machines at once.
Oh my
And she
gosh.
bump, 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 bump. But I guess you know what they say. If you got to keep your brain active,
She's keeping her brain active.
for
She doesn't
Alzheimer's
read.
or whatever.
It's fine.
I bet she keeps her
She's-
brain more active than my dad. I know
Maybe
he
more
reads and
active
stuff.
than you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Your dad reads.
He
you keep
reads,
your brain
reading. Yeah,
going.
reading's keeping it going. My mom will boom. I mean, she's fast. My grandma was like that too. My grandma was in the days though when they
They had the
pulled the slot
pull.
machine, and we used to pick her up from the.
Oof.
She used to come into town a couple times. a
Did
year
you
with-
even see her?
No, no. She used to come into town a couple times a year without my papa, and she would fly because my papa was afraid of flying.
She's like, I gotta go check on
So,
Diana the
yeah,
kids.
and we used to pick her up in South Shore at the airport.
Oh my god, that little baby one!
Yeah, she would fly from Orange County
Wow.
to South Shore,
Wow.
and they had it was PSA was the
It
airline.
was a baby plane then.
No, it was.
It was a big plane?
I mean, it was like a 727. Yeah,
Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know that big could land there.
yeah, not as many the biggest, But
Yeah.
it was a
I
regular.
know
I don't know.
that big could
At that
land
time, I
there.
don't know the sizes of planes, but it looked like a full, small.
Well, it
South.
probably wasn't
It's
as-
called a small
As
Southwest.
populated as is now. So.
Yeah, and so she would fly there. We pick her up from there, and then after she come into town, and after like dinner, my dad would drive her down to the Hyatt,
Yeah.
and sometime my mom, we couldn't call her there.
Right.
My mom would have to call the Hyatt and page her, and they would take the phone
to her.
to her at the slot machine.
Wow. And be like, we're coming to pick you up.
Yeah, and my dad's like, I got to go to work in the morning. And my mom's like, pick up go, you know,
Go
if it's
pick up my
snow,
mom, yeah.
like it's snowing out or whatever.
Oh, God.
Goes picks her up at 3 a.m, and then
Stop it.
she would come back with 2 black hands
Oof.
and like 18 buckets of quarters because you had to save your quarters. Like
Right.
you couldn't even carry all. Like my dad had to go in the casino
And
and
help
grab
her, yeah. Oh my
all the
gosh.
quarters, you know. And then she would bring them home, and the next day we'd put our hands in the bucket and say, "Grandma, can we have one?" And she'd smack our hands.
Oh.
Once in a while, she'd give us like 4 quarters, you know.
Oh.
But yeah, it was a big deal.
I
Yeah, and then she would go and sometimes they drop her off at Rayleigh's, the grocery store,
because
to
they have
gamble.
gambling at the
Yeah,
grocery store.
yeah. You get another change guy real well.
Oh, okay.
Alice, you need another more change?
He's all, huh? Saving up my money for this
Yeah.
trip.
But my grandparents, my grandma and papa, they're both deceased now. My mom's parents, they never went. I mean, when they were younger, they take the kids like to Yosemite or something,
Yeah.
camping or whatever, or they would go. But my great grandma Nana, you know, she was a professional gambler and lived in Vegas.
Cool.
Did she swallow it?
Oh, yeah.
The dog ate a cork.
Yeah.
Today, when I had her at the dog park, she had a giant wad of blackness in her mouth, and I'm
Ew.
like trying to get it. She was running
What the
away
hell
from
did she
me.
eat?
It was a wad of like electrical tape.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's currently munching on a cork.
She's
Oh,
eating.
it's my champagne cork.
Oh my gosh.
That's what she's eating. Well, she's
She
chewing it.
At least it's. I mean, I
It'll
don't know.
It'll come
yeah.
out.
Let us know if that's bad for a dog, folks.
It can't be that bad.
But
It's
anyway,
it's made from a
my Nana lived in
plant.
Vegas, and so you know they would take trips to Vegas too. But when all the kids got out of the house, the only vacations my grandparents went on, because we lived in
Like-
Tahoe,
So your guys'
so it's our house or Vegas.
right.
They would go to Vegas for 3 or 4 days. My papa would just go play.
Would they just
Keno.
go to? Would they ever go to Vegas and then your house? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, once in a while. But they
Like make
only
it a big trip.
they only went to gambling destinations.
Oh, okay. I mean, to each their own.
Right, because that's what they did.
That's what they enjoyed.
Yeah, they get a hotel, and they used to go. I think they used to go to the Flamingo,
Oh.
and they get a hotel there, and they stay for like 3 days. My grandma would save up all her money and go, and then Papa would go play Keno. He would sit there. And,
I'm seeing a lot of parallels here.
Yeah, you think? And my mom got it from them. And so my mom never went gambling at all until my grandma came into town. And she would go with her and then leave my grandma there for a longer time.
Right.
And then as Gretchen got older, Gretchen would go with them too.
Oh.
And now Gretchen won't even gamble with my mom.
She doesn't? I thought
No.
she did.
I mean, she might a little bit or whatever. Not supposed to say her name on the podcast. Sorry,
Oh.
Gretchen, but I said good things about you. But anyway, where were we? My grandparents
Loved a gambling vacay.
loved the gambling
Oh.
vacay. And then my other granddad.
I mean, if I was a winner at gambling, I might too, but I always lose. So I get irritated.
well, if you gamble a lot, you win a lot.
Well,
And then you also lose a lot, but you don't talk about the loses.
well,
the
that's
losses.
true also.
Yeah, so I got one.
I'd be that weird person that would like write down what everything I lost and won because I'd want to know if I was like successful.
just to make sure if you,
Yeah.
if you're a real gambler, you don't care about your losses. The losses mean nothing.
I don't know. I was listening to Jeff Lewis a couple weeks ago, and his dad and stepmom are like professional gamblers.
I mean, just like to gamble, or they
No, they
go.
kind of are. Like
they-
they've
do
been
they-
kicked out of multiple casinos in Vegas because they almost like card count.
Or they poker players
I
or
no, I don't think
blackjack.
they're yeah.
Blackjack,
And so
but table games, not
Yeah.
not digital.
and so they like know how to like work the system because they pay attention.
Yeah.
But they keep like a ledger of like what they and also for tax purposes.
Yeah.
Like of what they like paid, what they lost.
You
what
gamble
they,
a lot if you do that. I'm
I
sure
know.
my mom and dad do that for their
I have no
taxes.
idea.
Yeah, they have a whole line of gambling on taxes.
Like what they like brought that day, what they won that day, what
I
they
don't
like.
think there should be taxes on gambling
I know
because
that's kind of
you're
bullshit.
putting the money in that's already taxed.
right, but
and
it's a
then-
winning.
I know, but you're obviously the casinos are in business, so you're putting more tax dollar money in.
I know,
That's already
here's
been
the
paid
question
on.
because the casinos have to pay their taxes too.
Right.
So it's like really,
they're double
it's really
dipping.
they are double dipping.
They're
you're
taking
right.
a bad habit and making you pay for it.
Right. You know what also tax pisses me off? The inheritance tax.
Yeah, because
'Cause-
your parents have paid that tax on that money.
Yes. So that's bullshit that you inherit it and then you have to like pay again.
Yeah, and if it's in a retirement account that's not like a Roth, for those people out there who don't know, and it's in like a traditional IRA and they take it out, they get
Double tax. Yeah.
it takes out of the tax bracket of today, not when they put the money in
Right.
yesterday.
Which is bullshit.
So it could be way more
Way
money,
bigger,
way bigger
yeah.
tax. And then on top of that, you get like a 40-50% inheritance
Right.
tax.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, I think with a living trust and stuff that you can help that.
I think
But-
there's like little
yeah, there's
things,
little
yeah.
loopholes and stuff. But
Yes.
still, if you didn't do anything and someone left you $1 million, you're going to get 600,000,
Right, because of the
like
taxes, which is
40%
bullshit.
taxes. And they've already been paid 20, 30,000.
Right, and then if whatever you have left over inherit to the next generation, they have to pay it again,
Right.
which is bullshit.
Yeah, that one is bullshit.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't be generational taxes. It should be one tax,
And
we're
then,
done.
and then in the election, they were talking, Trump was talking about it and Kamala started talking about it too. No tax on tips. Now that's a good one
Right, that is a good one.
because it's hard to register how many tips. I guess nowadays they do it with credit cards though.
Right, if you have a credit card tip, you do get it taxed on your paycheck.
If you get cash, you don't have to. But
I can tell you that probably
I mean,
anybody that gets a cash tips probably claims like 1% of what they get. Because
Yeah.
most of the time they get it on their check taken out anyway, so they're like, that's good enough. You don't have to know that I got cash.
right. Or if you're a hairstylist.
I used to do that when I was a cart girl. I never claimed my cash tips.
Yeah, why would you?
Because they also on my paycheck, which that's how they did it. You got like minimum wage, and then whatever above minimum wage you got paid, that was your tip. So they would just tax that extra couple dollars as tips.
Oh, right.
And so then it was anything I got cash I didn't claim.
Oh, that's good. Or one of these guys claim their cash.
This segment of Life with Eric is brought to you by
430 National.
Great American Storage
America.
And Reno Yard.
For all your outdoor storage needs. Speaking of Reno Yard. So I was there at the Reno Yard this morning. And I had to go and I have a little storage unit there, and I had to go get I have a high-powered leaf blower.
Which I did not even know that was
Because
a
I'm doing
thing,
our
but
lawns and everything this year. I'm doing them.
I know you're becoming a landscaper.
I'm becoming a
apparently.
landscaper
We'll see how this goes
year. Trying to cut back on a little cost. I'm gonna see how we do it, if I can do it.
We'll
But
see.
the cleanup I've been doing 2 bags of
You also
leaves
need
and
a
everything
lawnmower
day.
now.
Yeah, I don't have a lawnmower, but I can borrow one, but I gotta go get one.
Right. You have to load up a lawnmower and then take it. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and my fucking tailgate doesn't work in my truck. So anyway,
Anywho,
it doesn't matter. So this is one of those big backpack leaf blowers, and it has gas powered. You fire it up, and it's real strong. So I fire that thing up, and I couldn't get it going for a few because it's been sitting for a while. So I fire it up, finally gets going, and I leave it there, and I go back into the storage unit, and I look back, and the thing just starts spinning and blowing my ass off.
Did your cat blow off your head?
Well, no, actually,
Oh, dang
it did not. Actually, it did not blow off. That's weird. I didn't think about that. But I'm in
But it
there.
was shooting like at your
And
ankles.
and it's blowing dirt and
In your
leaves.
face.
But the crappy thing is, I just cleaned out the storage shed, and I
Oh,
have all
no,
our
you just blew
flooring in
everything
there and
in it?
stuff. Blew everything in it, and I put little mouse traps everywhere,
And
like
blew 'em
sticky
around?
pads. They're blowing all over the place. Like one's sticking on my shoe and everything. And so I go after this thing, and it's spinning. Wow, wow! It's like because it's catching the wind, I guess, and then it's catching the leaves.
I don't know if it's catching the wind. I think that's just doing its job.
I don't know, but because it's real powerful. But I was
How'd
not
you stop
expecting.
it?
I was grabbed it and basically got blown in the face, basically. But I'm like, oh
I
my
wish
God.
there was a video of this.
Yeah, there probably
That would have
could
been an
be.
internet.
Chris
like,
Chris probably has that on
I
camera.
would like that if he does.
That'd be funny though. But yeah, I was going nuts. But they were saying that you said you see things on the
Oh yeah,
on the
on
Instagram
like
stuff, whatever?
yes, like reels of people that shit happening. There was I don't know the name of that
trolley machine.
Yes, on concrete, and these workers it started going. They're like, they didn't know how to stop it. They're like throwing shovels to try to like get the handle to stop.
Oh yeah, just like cinch it up or something. Yeah, I've seen that happen actually. And you can't grab. It's really
I think
hard.
finally it ended up like falling on its side.
Yeah, they're called trolley machine. People call them whirly birds too.
I don't
Or
know,
something
but
like that.
then I was like, oh, your concrete's all like blah
yeah.
now.
Because
though.
there's a lot of torque. If you let go of the handle, it just keeps
Yep,
spinning.
just started doing that.
Yeah, there's other things like some people will have like a torque like wrench or like a pipe wrench. You let go, swings back, and hits someone right in the
Jesus.
jaw or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta make sure.
That's why I don't do any handiwork
Right.
around here.
One time, the weirdest thing happened. Speaking of getting hit in the jaw,
Oh, okay.
so I go.
No, that's funny.
So
but
my kids went to this school called Roy Gom,
okay.
and Roy Gom every year had Gopher Day,
Yes.
and Gopher Day was a big fundraiser.
Yeah. Well,
all
yeah.
the games.
I feel like every school has these.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. You have games and little carnival games
Yes.
and stuff like this, all this stuff. So I sign up, and I can't remember. I'm thinking Skylar was probably in the 6th grade, so River was in the 3rd grade. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think it was something like that. So I mean, I think it was a big deal. I did that because it was Skylar's last year
Oh,
at that
okay.
school.
Okay.
6th grade was the final year at that school, and so I volunteered, and I get there, and they said, "Oh, you and this other dad that I don't know are going to be in charge of the dunk tank.
Yipes.
You know, where you sit up there and you
Yes.
throw the ball." And so we're going, and about 8 people go, and this one kid comes and takes the softball.
You're sitting in the you're the dad getting dunked.
No, the
Okay.
dads were taking turns getting dunked, and the kids were too.
Okay.
We were in charge of
just
facilitating.
running it. Okay.
Yeah, grabbing
okay.
the ticket,
Got it.
give them the ball,
Yes.
make sure they stay behind the line. You give them 3 shots, and they're out.
Okay.
And so it has a big round target on it, a wood handle, and it drops the bench.
Yes.
This one, freaking, Hercules kid comes and wings the ball and hits the target, breaks the wood, and hits it off. Yeah, and hits it off of the stick.
Yeah.
Right. So we're like, oh, shit.
Game's done.
What are we gonna do? And so the other dad says, "Oh, hey, there's duct tape. Maybe we just
duct tape
it on there really tight, and then when you hit it, still it'll work."
Yeah.
So he gives me the duct tape, and he's holding the target. So I take the duct tape and I'm pulling it real tight.
Oh no.
Real tight. So I pull it real tight, and the guy, I mean, in my defense, the guy's being kind of a dick, going tighter. Pull it tighter.
Okay.
The tape, right? So I'm pulling it tighter. And then I pull it, and the duct tape breaks, and I punch the guy right in the mouth. Like so hard, his lips bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
Like knockout time. And I was like, oh, I felt so bad. I knocked the shit out of him. He left after that too. He didn't finish the day.
Oh,
and so
hopefully you didn't bust a tooth.
No, I busted his lip though.
Oh.
And then he was just all bleeding and everything. And I'm like,
you said tighter.
I mean, he's yelling tighter. I'm like,
is that tight enough?
Boom! Yeah. Just knocked him right on his ass, basically. I'm like,
sorry,
man. And I had the tape in my hand, so it was a power punch.
So you're like ripping the tape,
just full on as hard as I can pull.
Whoops.
I don't remember who
Is that
that
the first
guy
time you ever
was.
punched somebody in the face?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
No, I used to box when I was younger, so
I don't mean boxing.
And then I've punched a couple people.
You
when
have?
I was, when I was like in elementary school.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't really count. I mean, never in real life I punched somebody in the face. I've pushed people.
Yes.
I've knocked people on their ass and pushed them a few times. One time I was at this thing the Mud Sharks were playing.
Right.
They used to play at Lakeview Pizza.
Okay.
And so upstairs they had a band area. And so it was like Halloween. Everybody was like kind of dressed up. And this one guy had swim fins on.
Okay.
And he was dressed up like Aquaman or something.
Oh, okay.
Something, or a frog or something like that. And he was being a real dick, and he was kind of pushing everybody around. And so I got just all pissy at him.
Fin.
Sometimes I go crazy,
I do know.
So I just stepped on his fins and shoved him. And he hit the ground so freaking hard. And then he's trying to get up to come after me, but he's got fucking fins on.
Right.
I'm like, I got to get out of here.
And time to go.
I got to get out of here, man. Yeah.
Wow.
So if someone ever has big fins or feet on, step on them and push them.
And run.
They're not going. Yeah, they're not going. They're not coming after you at any old time. I probably was.
Wow.
I probably had a few shots of this before I did it.
I would say yes.
Honey, guess what time it is?
Happy hour?
Yep, I made your favorite Juicy Tits Vodka cocktail.
Fantastic. Thanks, babe. Love you.
And I love you. And your Juicy Tits.
Go to juicytitsvodka.com to get your own bottle of Juicy Tits, where life is the party.
Last week on the podcast was 200 episodes.
Yes.
We kept saying it over and over again.
Oh,
We
yeah.
talk about it.
Mhm.
Played a lot of highlights, but I guess it's a good feather in our cap. That was good.
Right.
And I don't know what it is, but I started this other business consulting type
Mhm.
business and everything, and so I talk with a lot of people lately.
Yes.
And then I talked with a lot of people at acting class and everything. And for some reason, we happened to do the 200 episode. Maybe acting class because I announced it and said, "Hey, we just did our 200 episode." Everybody wants to sit in on the podcast or watch it or know how we do it or whatnot. Like more people than I ever imagined. Like I want. Like before, every once in a while, I want to start one up. How do you do it? What do you do? But this week is like maybe because I don't know. It's insane.
I don't know.
I've had about 8 people. It's crazy, and I'm like, and I say, oh yeah, if you ever want to sit in with us, but we can't have that many people sitting in with us.
No. I feel like everybody, and this has been going on for years, thinks that they can have a podcast. Everybody.
Yeah, because you're just
Including us.
bullshitting and talking, including us. Fuck yeah, no kidding, dear.
But the reality of it, which you could, everybody can. Will everybody listen to it? I am probably not.
Yeah.
But then it also
Does
is
anybody listen to us? I doubt
probably
it.
not. But the reality of it is, it's a hell of a lot harder than it appears.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot.
Well, that's why I said it.
Yeah.
I wanted to have like so many people. I said, why don't I just get them all together, and I'll have a little crash course seminar, and they can sit in front of the mics.
Yes, and
and,
well,
tr-
like
and do a
just
fake podcast.
it's a hell of a lot harder to have a conversation and with a mic on and a camera on, whatever. And we didn't use to even film. So, or maybe we did just for like
Or we started
Instagram.
filming on our 25th episode.
But to just sit in front of a mic and not be nervous and have a conversation, and like we've had guests on that like freeze.
Yeah, weird.
Because they're like, I thought I could do this, but it's a lot harder than I thought.
Yes, I wanted to do a little workshop.
Yeah,
and I
and
think
then
it'd be fun. I mean, we could do it together, or I'll just do it, or whatever.
But then also to do it, be consistently doing it.
That's hard.
And then it's also not just that 40 minutes in front of a mic.
No, it's all the back end stuff.
Yeah.
and everything
Which,
else
I mean,
too.
I don't really deal with that. But
Yeah. If I did a seminar, I wouldn't even hardly go over the back end stuff. I'm like,
mean,
let's
you
get used to
should.
doing no.
Right.
No, but after you want to see if you want to even do it, then
that's true.
then worry about the back end stuff. So anyway, I want to do that. We'll see. if
Well,
that happens.
whatever.
Yeah, might as well. You know, if I can't, no one's listening to about my other business, I might as well talk to them about podcasting.
They want whatever they'll listen to.
Yeah.
Give them what they want.
Right.
Right.
But will they sound like this?
Nope, not unless they use Dan.
You sound so good.
With this nasally old voice?
Yes, but it's so clean.
That's why we use Fibonacci Sound Studio, located in Reno, Nevada, led by an Emmy-nominated audio producer.
Fibonacci specializes in voiceovers and voice recordings for games, television, and film production.
So you're saying, if Fibonacci can make my nasally voice sound this good,
Then anybody else's will sound like music to your ears.
for more information or to book an audio session, go to FibonacciSoundStudio.com.
Or call 775-357-8580.
Before we start wrapping this bad boy up, you filled out another NCAA bracket.
Yeah, I did.
And you're winning right now.
I am
And
winning
right now. They're
now.
down to they're playing going down to the
There
16.
was one
They're on
game
the 32.
today that was an upset that I lost.
You lost it today?
Yep.
Oh man.
It was an upset. It was like Arkansas. It was Arkansas lost
Oh, they lost
to like
Oh.
St. Mary's. And it was
Oh,
like
geez.
exceeded 2 against like 12.
Yeah. See, that's gonna
It
hurt
was
you
at
a
St.
little
Mary's.
bit.
I might have made that up.
Oh, but everybody probably lost that one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because you would
Yeah.
expect Arkansas to win.
Those of
That's
you
the
don't
only
know,
game that's
and,
in right
and
now.
probably wouldn't know is Kylie won it in her work
did
last
what- I
year.
won it last
her
year.
dad's really good at this
Yeah,
kind of
I
stuff.
have to say I cannot take any credit for it because I know shit about actually basketball.
Well, you
period.
fill it out.
But I get my dad on the phone and we fill it out together. So
Yeah.
it's basically all my dad.
It'd be pretty good if you win your office 2 years in a row. Though.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of clout for me.
Yeah. I was telling everybody at swimming today, I'm like, Kylie's winning her.
I
They go,
am.
she is? I'm like,
yes.
yeah. They go, and she
It
won
makes
last
me
year.
sound like I know
I know.
anything
Hey,
about
you
what
have
I'm
a
talking
trophy.
about.
You have a trophy from last
I
year.
do have a trophy from last year.
What do you win? Money and a trophy?
Yes.
Or you get a gift card or something.
Yes.
Or a Visa gift card or something.
So I'm pretty excited and I hope my winning streak continues and we'll see.
See, you're a gambler too.
I don't do it for the money though. I do it because I want to win.
I think when you fill out that bracket next year, you should put a cigarette and light it while you're filling out the
I'm
bracket.
like, Dad, let's do this.
Yeah, like sit down, light a cigarette.
Channel your mom.
Yeah, light a cigarette and fill out the bracket. I bet you win for sure.
This happened this week, and this is how you know I'm not lucky. I got pulled over this week.
You did?
I did.
Oh yeah, you told me. That.
I did on the way to
What
work.
happened?
They're leaving our house. There's this like hill that you go down, and it's 35, and even if you coast, your car will speed up to about 48, which I coast all the time. That's what it goes to. But I see someone got pulled over ahead of me, like at the very bottom of the hill. So I'm like, oh, and if there's motorcycle cops, there's always 2.
Yeah, one top, one
And then
bottom.
they sit in the same area because there's a Buddhist church, and so they can sit in commercial places. And so I'm like, okay, so going slow, going the speed limit. The cop pulls out behind me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, maybe they're leaving. Nope, lights come on. I'm like, why the hell is he pulling me over?
That's called lighting you up.
Yeah, so I like pull over, and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, I have absolutely no idea. And he's like, your registration's you're not.
Wrong color.
Yeah, your sticker's yellow. It's not or orange or whatever. I think it's yellow now. He's like, is your car registered? I'm like, yeah. I'm assuming he pulled me up, so he knows I'm registered.
Right. Yeah.
And so I open my glove box, and there's the registration envelope unopened. So I have to open it in front of him, and I'm like, here it is.
The only reason I give you that, I would have put that on your car,
know you
but I
would've.
know you're picky about putting a
Right.
sticker on. I
And
just throw the
so-
sticker
Which
on.
I did throw you under the bus to the guy, which is totally my fault. But I was
My
like, oh, my
husband,
husband probably just put it in there, and I didn't. And I'm like, you probably told me, and I forgot. And he's like, it's okay. Well, since they have you, he's like, can I get your driver's license too, just to check? I'm like, yeah, make sure I guess they don't have a warrant out.
Yep. Was he going to arrest you if you got a warrant? I guess so.
He could.
Yeah.
So I pull out my wallet, hand him my card. He's like, or my ID. And he's like, that's not it. And I handed him my debit card.
That's pretty good. That's
like,
funny.
oh, I'm sorry.
Were you nervous? must have
Maybe
been.
a little bit, because
You're
I
probably-
think just a general like
Yeah.
anxiety
And you probably were
being
talking
pulled
in your
over.
high-pitched voice and
Probably.
everything.
And so he comes back and he's like, okay. He's like, just put that on, because if the highway patrol gets you, like, they're going to get you. They're going to give you a ticket. He's like, I'm not going to give you a ticket. Just put your sticker on. I'm like, go put it on today. And he was like, also, I'm like, yeah. And he's like, thank you for being so nice. And I was like, oh, you're
Oh.
welcome. He's like,
Oh, most people are so assholes.
yeah, he's like, I never pull somebody over and they're nice. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, have a good day. I'm like, you too.
I know someone that gets pulled over, and he's the nicest guy, but I'm not going to mention his name. But when he gets pulled over, he rolls down his window like 3 inches.
Oh, no. And hands
and
everything through
he
it.
says the F word every time,
Stop
and he
it.
hands everything through it. And they give him a ticket every single time.
I mean, so
Yeah.
maybe being nice is.
Yeah. I'm always nice.
Yeah.
I
figure if usually it's probably my fault. It is, Alla, if I'm getting pulled over.
Yeah. A few years back, I got 2 tickets in a row, both by female cops.
Oh, God.
And so I tried to charm them.
And it didn't work.
It
They're
did not
probably-
work. They hated my freaking guts. I got tickets by both of them. The one I was eating a donut and I swerved.
Right.
I'm like, I was eating a donut. Like, give me a break. Someone's eating a donut. Don't give them a ticket.
I gotten one ticket in my life for speeding on the freeway.
Uh-huh.
I was going 80. Totally my fault. But he pulls me over and I'm like, shit. Like, I know why.
I'm toast.
So I'm like, he comes to my window and I'm like, hi. Like, trying to be really nice, hoping if I'm nice, he'll just give me a warning.
Yeah.
Oh, was just like,
A jerk.
license and registration. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
If they talk to you like that, it tickets for sure.
Which then it was, sadly, I was coming from the gynecologist. So I was like, well, isn't this an afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds a lot of fun. You go to the gynecologist,
Right, and then I get a speeding
get
ticket.
probed, and then you get a ticket.
I know. I was like, come on.
That's bullshit.
I know. So he, was just like, no, you're getting a ticket today. And I was like, oh, okay.
The Life with Eric podcast is brought to you by Pachilla Concrete Construction and Michael Weems Collection. You can see him at Palm Canyon Drive in Palm Springs, and you can collect or buy some of his
And
stuff
collect.
at.
michaelweems.com.
And if you like this podcast, rate us a 5 or follow us, subscribe, click the copy, and share us with a friend on Apple Podcast or Spotify. And dear, it's that time. Last call. Who are you cheers today, baby?
You have no idea. We didn't talk about this, but I got
No.
a good one.
Okay, what?
We're going to cheers to Jordan and Max.
Oh, that's a good one. New baby in the
Yep.
family. Yep, they had a new baby.
Congratulations on their new baby.
New baby. Yep. And I know we don't do birthdays, but Skylar's birthday's next week.
Yes.
So that's
we
cool.
don't normally do
We sent off a
birthdays.
card to her.
Yes.
Might take 2 weeks to.
Is this like the first card you've ever gotten her?
Yeah. I mean, I don't get her a card, but she's like, "Oh, you're not sending me a card." And so
Which
I actually
I
told her. I
realized-
said I sent her a card.
I realized when I was writing her birthday card today that we've never seen her on her birthday since she's been an adult. She's been in Hawaii for every single birthday.
Well, we saw her last year. She was there with us.
Well, only because she was
Yeah,
in Hawaii
she
with
was
us.
with us, yeah.
But she's been in Hawaii for every single birthday.
Good for her, and she still is.
So I'm like, oh, we've actually never seen you on any of your adult birthdays.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe or follow us on wherever you get your podcasts, or just go to our website at lifewitheric.com.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and a closer look into my life with Eric. To all of our listeners out there, remember, it's always happy hour here.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Love you, baby.
Love you.